All right, something has been sitting in the mail since the 30th of December. Wow, did that just self-lock? Holy shit. Yeah, I had ordered this a few weeks ago, and because of the holidays and whatnot, I wasn't able to pick it up, so I had it held at the FedEx office and never got a notice saying they actually had received it, and I kind of forgot about it with everything that's been going on here. So this morning I ran down and picked it up, and this is the rapid induction oiled AEF, I guess semi-cold air take. It's pretty straightforward. Now the instructions say that this has not been approved. What does it say? Not been approved to be California exempt, but it also doesn't say cannot be used. So don't really care, because really all this does, it's kind of interesting. All this does is remove the upper part of the stock airbox and replaces it with this unit and a cone filter. So it's about 7, 8, 9 screws, because you got to change these 2 screws and put the air sensor that's on the side of your airbox here, and just replace the lid. So I'll put the lid in this box and throw it on the back. If I ever sell this van, it'll go with it, or if I need to get it smogged, I'll just swap it out. It's super simple. It's only a few screws. Right there is the part number, and this is the 4-cylinder 2.1 liter. So that's what I have. So of course it says Sprinter. Now on the website it does not come up with the freightliner model, but they're the same. So I'm going to pop the hood and get the stock top off. Oops, what do we got here? Way too zoomed in. All right. So basically what we have are 7, I think they said these were 25s, so T25s, plus the 2 here. These have to come off. And once we get this off, we need to remove this ring and put this onto the stock one. And that's it. It's that simple. The rest of this is all staying in here. So it's a quick and easy. I still need to check this. I'm not sure what this tube is, but it does look like we've got a little bit of leak going on. Oops. All right, so this bottom one is easy to clip off. This upper one you have to pull back a little bit before you can push down on it. That's off, the lid's off. We can take that. And the filter, I guess I need both hands because it's so freaking big. Yeah, I'm gonna need both hands to get it up out of there. Oh, nope. Oh, look at all the junk that's in there. Lots of stuff. Maybe I'll get my vacuum out too. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of crud in that. So this needed to be replaced anyway. I would have probably swapped it with a K&N one. That way I wouldn't have this. Does that say that this is a 2015 filter? That means it's stock, or that's just the part number? Don't know. All right, but yeah, there's a bunch of crud in that. So we will need a couple of the screws out of here, because it does say we need to reuse, I think, 4 of them. So we'll need to grab 4 of those. We'll still need to take this sensor out, but I'm gonna grab my vacuum cleaner real quick so I can vacuum out all that stuff in the airbox. Okay, so I've already removed this sensor. I removed the map sensor. I've already put the sensor on there. This will need this O-ring installed. The other thing I did is I removed 4 of the bolts that we're going to need to reuse, and then we're done with this housing, so we can throw that out of the way. We need these little spacers that came with the kit. This goes on the bracket. Also these I think they're like H4s or something, are the screws that will go here and here. This kit only came with 2 lock washers, so I assume they went there because they really don't say in the instructions, but we'll put that there, and we'll throw this O-ring on and get this sensor back in place, and then we'll get the bracket out and get it set up, and we'll be able to install it. Alright, so the hardest part of this, this rubber seal, which I really don't know if it's a seal, it just keeps the edge from rubbing against stuff, and this rubber seal here at the bottom. It's probably more of an anti-rattle thing, but you need to make sure that you get it on there correctly so that it fits, because the box actually has a little step down in there, and if you get it off to one side too much, you're going to get a little bit of a problem because it won't fit. So you can either cut it and then you'll just have a space, but the bracket actually sits in the front 4 side bolt holes. So I've got this all test fitted. Now the next part is to put the filter and everything together, and then you drop this whole unit in. Okay, now these little spacers, as you can see, zoom in, there it goes, go on so the nut doesn't fall out, but you got to look here closely. One whole side is actually bigger than the other, so it's easier to get it started by dropping it into that and not on the other side. So a little quick trip, but all right, so I got 2 done. I just got to do the other 2, and then I can put the filter and the intake together and put it back in. I'm going to say the hardest part of this is putting these little grommets on. I didn't need a tool to hold the little plastic piece, but you probably will, because they do get a little rough, and I did basically put the filter on upside down. Actually, I didn't, because that's right set up, the words are right, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, basically you're going to just pop the ring off. It's not tight, and then you're going to push the filter through the bracket, and then once you get that on, you put the ring back on, and then the next trick is putting this plastic piece into the filter without squishing the filter. I kind of went around and lubed it up with some of the grease from the filter around the edges, and it slid right on. So now it's ready to go back in. We just tighten up 4 screws, hook up the 2 plugs, tighten up the ring for the intake into the motor, and we're done. So let's get that in. Okay, and tightened up the 4 T25s. The air filter sits like that. Like I said, I vacuumed out this box. It really wasn't necessary, but just for cleaning. The filter is in nice and tight. So the only thing we have left is we have to hook up the 2 plugs. We've already tightened our band clamp, but I need to clip this zip tie so we have enough room to get to the back sensor. Okay, so I clipped that one, and I still wasn't loose enough, so I went ahead and cut the one that was over here. I don't know if those were factory, both of them, or what, but that's that. I might come back and just move this so it doesn't rub on that wire. I think I will, but yeah, probably took about 20 minutes. Not really a difficult job. If you had all your tools laid out instead of having to look for things like cutters, it would have been a lot faster. All right, well, thanks for watching. Now I know from my experience with my other car that I have a 1.6 Hyundai 202 stock horsepower. When I did the intake and the catback exhaust, which is basically like what we're doing on this, no tune was needed, and I picked up about 17 horsepower, well 15, because at the dyno it was 217 without programming, tuning, or nothing. So if we pick up 15 horsepower, that's pretty big for this little motor. But yeah, this thing's been running really good. I will eventually be getting it tuned, but that's down the road. I'm going to delete the DEFs, the EGR, and the DEF filter thing that's underneath there. So supposedly that will give us about, I think they said it was about 40-50 horsepower. So it brings us almost to like 190. So that wouldn't be too bad. So the other thing I need to figure out is this guy. This keeps filling up with water every time it rains. I've tried suctioning it out. I can't figure out where the bottom tube is because I wanted to put some compressed air in it and blow whatever is in there out. But I might go ahead and get a piece of wire and with a brush on it and see if I can dig out some whatever is stuck in there, because there's definitely something stuck down in there. Well, I guess I should start it up to see how much sucky sounds it makes. We'll see. I know I have a similar filter on the truck, and when going down the road you can really hear it now under the hood. It sounds impressive. Let's see what kind of noises this makes. Yeah, you can sort of hear it. I mean, the engine's still cold, but you know, not expecting a whole lot, but anything's better than those stock air filters. Yeah, you can definitely hear it sucking air. No dash lights caused by this or anything like that, so everything is golden. So cool.